Welcome. We've all seen our share of disruption this year. The COVID pandemic and related economic crisis is leading to indescribable pain and suffering for millions of us around the world. Even those who are not directly impacted by the disease or job losses are feeling its effects. The crisis is changing our home and professional lives in ways we could barely have imagined in January. We're being forced to adapt. And as we adapt, we're using technology and innovating how we get our work done. This is resulting in new ways of making and new opportunities. This path of innovation, which while driven by painful circumstances, will lead to better jobs, better ways of collaborating, and better experiences. Think about it. Think about what happened with the automobile. Before we had the car, we relied on the horse and carriage to move people around. 1886, the first car, an invention that blended the horse and carriage into a motorized version of passenger transportation. It changed the world. The automobile made certain professions obsolete. Stables and grooms for the masses faded away. People lost their jobs. But the car also spurred new opportunities. People could get from place to place faster and more easily. Roads were improved. New jobs were created, along with an entire supply chain and ecosystem of service providers, from auto repair shops to motels. The invention of the car over 100 years ago opened the door to new possibilities. The history of transportation reminds me of where we're headed in our era. Today, it's not horses and carriages, it's your industries and processes. We're seeing you reimagine processes by combining previously siloed workflows. You're bringing together and converging people and tasks across functions like never before. In Andrew's keynote, he addressed the common trends affecting you today: digitization of processes and workflows, distributed, more resilient supply chains, and the redefining of lines between the physical and virtual worlds. These are all hallmarks of convergence, and what Andrew called out as the new normal. We're here today to talk to you about how Forge can help you harness the power of these new ways of making to reimagine the new possible. We'll be joined by 3 inspiring companies who will share how they've embraced convergence and are achieving this new possible using Forge. Susanna?
That's right, Greg. Today, you are going to see why Autodesk is in such a unique position to be a leader in this new era of convergence, and how Forge can help you embrace the new possible. Hey, and be on the winning side of disruption, not relegated to the history books like the horse and carriage. Let's start with what Forge is. And at its core, Forge is a set of web APIs and services. Think of them like a tool set. And what do you do with a tool set? You pick and choose the precise tool that you need to fix a problem. And these tools can be used alone or combined to create customized solutions. Now, any meaningful solution is going to involve data. And these mountains of data that your work creates, it can be a burden, or it can be a solution. So let's talk about the burden. Disorganized data can be difficult to manage, hard to interpret, cause errors, slow down processes and teams. But when you automate and connect data, when you give it meaning and organization, that's when you turn it into a competitive advantage. Now, we know that you're already seeing the power of your data and that you're using Forge to build customized solutions, visualize and analyze data on dashboards, create digital twins, automate or integrate Autodesk products into your workflow, and so much more. Forge is here to empower you from concept to completion. Let's talk about elevators for a minute and how data is being harnessed in exciting ways. Toshiba Elevator are going to join us later to talk in detail about how they're using Forge. But right now, what I want to do is highlight how they're bringing together data from different sources, store specifications, and CAD systems to create a sales configurator. They're using our design automation APIs to create 3D models in the configurator And here's the big deal. These models can be customized on demand with greater input from their customers. Here, the power of automation creates a more personalized, a more streamlined process from sales to design to manufacturing, all the way to delivery and installation. And that's just one example of a company that is really embracing Forge and finding new ways of making. We are seeing customer growth across many industries and a huge demand for new applications. We have over 15 billion API calls per month running through our cloud platform. Use of our new design automation APIs has soared 720% year on year. 720%. And if we look at our ecosystem, we are approaching 8,000 developers and over 1 million downloads a year from our App Store. The potential market for these developers is roughly $500 million a year. It's a huge opportunity, and we continue to be excited that our customers are seeing the value of Forge to gain traction in this market. What do you think, Greg?
I agree, Susanna. These developers are using Forge to unlock new experiences and new value by embracing innovation. Forge is a tool set to help you do just that, to take the next step in your digital transformation, to disrupt the way you are currently doing business, and find new ways of making that give you a competitive advantage. We're all being challenged to do things differently. In this new normal, to discover new ways to enhance agility and productivity, to rethink how we harness technology and how we meet today's demand for new ways of living. This is leading to compressed or new processes and tighter connections between industries. Things are converging. To explain what we mean by convergence, let's take a step back and look at how modern ways of working have evolved over time. In the pre-industrialization era, a master craftsman had all the skills and resources needed to get the job done within short reach. He handled the full start to finish creation of products. Supply chains were short and unified. With the arrival of the Industrial Revolution, mass production led to specialization. Supply chains became sequential, longer, and siloed. Specialists handled unique tasks. This process repeated across all kinds of different work arenas, forming complex industry structures. Today, digitization, which is rapidly accelerating with cloud computing, is creating the new digital craftsman. We're moving to digitally unify supply chains and more integrated know-how. Previously siloed workflows are now connected across digital ecosystems. Companies are able to complete full product life cycles from start to finish. New ways of making are emerging. These are new forces allowing for convergence. Let's look at an example of how the progression in new ways of making has played out over time. Susanna?
Yes. And to do that, let's revisit our previous example of the evolution of cars. So before cars, craftsmen specialized in building carriages from start to finish. Now, with the evolution of the combustion engine came the convergence of the horse and carriage, which led to the Model T, and mass production, which was enabled by assembly lines. Today, companies are changing the automotive game again by introducing the software car. Think about how revolutionary this concept is for you as a car owner. If you have a traditional car, you get it as it is. It degrades over its lifetime, eventually you buy a new one, and you start all over. Now, companies are improving cars even after sale with the power of the cloud. By automatically releasing new functionality to existing cars through software updates after purchase, they can continuously reshape customer experiences by adding new value to something the customer already owns. In addition, we're seeing companies embrace online, on-demand sales models and a different kind of in-person retail experience, thus challenging the traditional franchise system. In this new normal, that's proven to be a much more resilient way of doing business. And of course, we're seeing more electric cars on the road. changing the nature of the fuel industry. With this example, it's easy to see industries changing and converging, coordinating workflows between software development and cars, automating processes via software updates, driving the sales process on demand online, and eliminating the need for carbon-based fuels. More and more, we see convergence resulting in better business and sustainability solutions for our world. Greg.
That's right, Susanna. And we're seeing more and more companies answering the call and the demand for better by harnessing data, automation, and insight to transform the way their products are designed and made, owned, and operated. We see innovations optimizing the coordination of work processes between teams and digital systems to ensure seamless collaboration and make it easy to bring together data residing in different formats. Whether it's blending construction logic into a building design or coordinating the design of a complex manufacturing assembly across disparate teams, digital workflow coordination is the path to better. And industry leaders are designing and creating precisely what's needed at scale to efficiently offer greater choice, customizing products on demand. In practice, this looks like modular building components manufactured offsite or just-in-time replacement of machine parts using additive manufacturing. Using virtual experiences, businesses are creating powerful new representations of reality. From creating digital twins to simulating product performance in changing environments, virtual creation is permanently transforming experience and expectation. These are three convergent ways of making, and they're opening up a new opportunity. Long after a product's initial creation, we're seeing new ways of continually reshaping products to meet performance needs and evolving customer expectations. Owners and operators of things already made can now continue making beyond the construction site or factory floor. They can integrate ongoing performance data and meet changing customer needs. The ability to reshape will become a perpetual and engaging characteristic of our environment. These transformations delight customers today and lead them to expect even more tomorrow, reigniting the demand for better.
And at the heart of making convergence happen is cloud technology. Cloud technology is enabling the union of discrete processes across industries by connecting data. For the automotive industry, this means enabling the remote updates of new and improved software for cars, even after the car's been bought. For us, it means Forge. Forge is Autodesk's cloud platform. It connects data across industries to help our customers. Our vision for Forge is to enable you and your trusted collaborators to access all of your design data, regardless of where it's been created, and provide tools and APIs that help you leverage that data. Autodesk is in a unique position to empower innovators like yourself to break through barriers and solve problems, because we provide tools for making things that span boundaries of industry, of discipline, and of geography. And we're not stopping there because you're not stopping there. As you keep asking for more, we will continue to deliver. At Autodesk, we've long provided the foundational technology that allows you to design and create. Today, we're pioneering the intersection of insights and automation to unlock new ideas and make them real, to deliver more value to you. And this is what Andrew meant when he said, now is the time to reimagine possible. Today, we have 3 real-world examples from customers and partners who are here to tell you how they've used Forge to build new experiences, bridge industry gaps, and how they are meeting the demand of the new possible in truly inspiring ways. So with that, let's meet our first guest today. I'm really excited to welcome BAMCOR's CEO, Hal Hinkler, to the stage. And let me tell you why I'm so excited. Hal and his team are addressing 2 critical industry challenges with BAMCOR: climate change and inefficient building processes. And climate change is something I feel very passionate about. And when I first heard about the story and saw what they were doing, I was blown away. And I think you will be too. Bamcor set out to create a connected construction experience for housing, reimagining how buildings come together with sustainably harvested bamboo. Hal, it's great to have you here today.
Thank you, Susanna. Those are the two great challenges the built world faces today and will face for decades to come: climate and inefficiency in both construction and operations. To address them, we have to find ways to reduce the carbon, cost, and labor that goes into our buildings. At Bamcor, we've known from our beginning that we had to change the material used in our buildings, moving away from concrete, steel, and even wood toward timber bamboo, nature's fastest growing structural fiber. Whether per area of land for growing or per time to harvest, bamboo is somewhere between 400% and 1,000%, or 10 times more productive than wood. And bamboo has amazing mechanical properties. It can have the tensile strength of steel and nearly the compressive strength of concrete. At Bamcor, we use these properties to make super strong panelized walls that eliminate nearly all the studs, headers, and posts in conventional framing. And when you eliminate the studs, you get a far more thermally and acoustically efficient envelope. But once we got going, we learned we had to change more than the material. We also had to change the method. Here's how that happened. After we manufacture the high-performance panels, we fabricate them in the factory to the specific job to millimeter accuracy. We do this by taking the AutoCAD file and building a 3D BIM model in Revit and turning that into a CAM file to drive custom fabrication in the factory. This is just the basic workflow of industrialized construction. But to explain our system, our new system, we had to spend a lot of time emailing loads of PDFs to all the players in a typical build: architect, engineer, framer, subcontractors, and other manufacturers. That is, until we started using the Forge platform. Forge allowed us to share the full 3D BIM model with everybody in the workflow, whether they were in the architect's studio, at the engineer's office, or even on the job site. And since the viewing could be done on a browser, advanced computer skills were not required. Every stakeholder could benefit. It was like democratizing BIM. Right out of the gate, we were able to share interactive palette lists and bills of lading, and importantly, a job site animation tool to show exactly how to install the walls. We had the beginnings of an orchestrated workflow that went from design through manufacturing to construction, but it didn't stop there. Since Forge is a two-way platform, we can also collect information from all the stakeholders too. What was once a disconnected workflow can finally converge. Using Forge, we will be giving to the trades the ability to generate their own takeoffs and bids right from our BIM model. They can even mark locations for every line, pipe, or cable for their crew, and do this in a browser with simple drop-down menus. We then print these utility locations, color-coded, right on the panels, which in effect closes the industrialized construction loop. This orchestrated workflow funnels all the jobs through the BIM model to custom fabrication and onto the job site for visually guided installation, lowering the need for a large, highly skilled labor pool, speeding the installation, and lowering job site waste. And it doesn't matter whether you are the architect, the engineer, framer, electrician, or plumber, or if you're on a desktop or a cell phone. All of this comes together in our design bid build platform that converges all the workflow together through Forge. And when we put these pieces together, we started looking for other ways to achieve team convergence, especially relative to the sustainability of each building, where carbon must be dealt with and bamboo may be our most promising tool. And that led us back to the design phase, where we realized that new environmental decision tools were becoming available that plugged right into Revit. Once the BIM model is built, building designers and owners can use the Autodesk Insight software or Tally software to project price and energy savings during operations, as well as embodied carbon savings during construction when they switch to the Bamcor high-performance wall system instead of using conventional framing with concrete, steel, or studs. To lower the carbon, cost, and labor of the built world will require the adoption of industrialized construction. Today, we see two paths forward. The first path leads to simple, static factory automation, producing mostly modular, uniform units. On the second path, the workflow is orchestrated across all the members of the team, and the participating industries converge instead of being fragmented into silos. Importantly, this path can lead to mass customization while still providing the efficiencies of industrialized construction. And this can take us into a future where the entire built world can serve us individually at a lower cost while also protecting the climate. But this can only happen when the workflow from design to bid to build is orchestrated around a single BIM model that is interactively available to all members in the job workflow. Forge does this. Forge allows the whole team to converge.
Thank you, Hal. This to me is a double win in the path to better. BAMCore achieved a groundbreaking business solution that's also sustainable. They use Forge to bridge the gaps between design, manufacturing, and construction. Just look at how many problems they solved: disconnected teams, job site mistakes, labor shortages, and all of that while using more sustainable materials. That's how Forge enables convergence. Our next guest speaker is equally inspiring. HoloBuilder is part of our construction ecosystem and uses Forge to link the digital and physical worlds, transforming experience and expectation by digitizing the job site with a construction progress management platform. Here to tell us how her company reimagined workflows to create an easier virtual and visual experience for builders is Myra Soto, Head of Product at HoloBuilder. Myra, thank you for joining us today.
Greg, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here today. As Greg said, my name is Myra Soto, Head of Product for HoloBuilder. Prior to HoloBuilder, I worked as a control project manager in construction projects such as mining and commercial projects. Since leaving the field, I've joined the technology world to tackle many of the challenges that I encounter out there. A journey that started at HoloBuilder more than 4 years ago. I'm excited to share a little bit about that and our partnership with Autodesk today. One of the biggest problems that I have experienced during my time as a control project manager is the problem of unorganized information and delays due to either missing data from the field or lack of context for the information being reported. I've received invoices that did not reflect what the field actually looked like, but there was no way to verify that without traveling across the country to visit the site. Even though many people in the field would snap pictures, the large data sets and missing context resulted in me spending hours searching for the right picture or going to the field to verify information. This tedious task drove me crazy as the deadlines kept piling up. This is the challenge that prompted us to start HoloBuilder, unstructured site documentation. So we went ahead and created a construction progress management solution for general contractors, engineering firms, and owners to document and communicate job site progress in 360 degrees, addressing many of the challenges that I face in the field. The industry called us a street view for construction. What that really means is that sites that use HoloBuilder capture their progress with 360-degree cameras, which enables key stakeholders to gain remote site access and walk the site virtually from anywhere. It also allows the teams to have a solid progress record for the handover process. The value really comes from interacting with the captured data to improve existing workflows around project controls, such as remote site access to reduce travel time, payment and invoicing verification, having a solid as-built documentation, and better team collaboration. We're excited to have been able to help builders around the world with this workflow on more than 20,000 sites so far. Having seen all these projects and the complexity of the real world, we believe that no construction technology company can stand by itself. We all have to work together and have the data flow from one platform to the other to really provide workflow efficiency gains. We have partnered with the best tools provider available in the market to bring more value to the industry. For example, floor plan management tools like BIM 360 and PlanGrid. And that's where Forge comes in. Forge enables customers to bring floor plans into HoloBuilder smoothly and allows the sharing of information between HoloBuilder and BIM 360 to truly create a single source of truth. In order to do this connection, we use multiple services of Forge, including the Data Management API, BIM 360 API, and the Authentication API. Let's look at how it works. One of your team members is in the field, walking the job, capturing progress with a 360-degree camera and HoloBuilder's job walk-up. Your team will instantly get access to the data and is able to move progress forward no matter where they are. Your team can compare real-world 360-degree photos with BIM models by connecting Revit or Navisworks to HoloBuilder. You can even do measurements and generate markups that live within BIM 360. Forge allows you to do just that and keep the issues seen and always up to date. And that's the power of integrated workflows. The difference that makes for the teams in the field and the office are massive. Having remote access to the job site removes confusion and improves communication between stakeholders, which result in improvements on schedule compliance by catching errors early. We've come a long way in our partnership with Autodesk and Forge. But what the future holds is even more exciting. As discussed, the value of HoloBuilder really comes from using the data to improve existing workflows. So now, and in the future, HoloBuilder will always be working on optimizing user workflow to increase speed of capture and even faster analysis of the captured data. All this has to be carefully thought through so the data can be even more efficiently collected and later on serve many workflows and processes while ensuring data privacy and security. We are working on creating an automated way to collect the most data from the field with the SpotWalk, HoloBuilder's integration to the Spot robot from Boston Dynamics. But in addition, to gain insight from the data already collected by enabling AI and machine learning. The main goal is that the user does not need to process the large amount of data, but that technology tells the areas of focus so decisions can be made even faster. We are excited to be Autodesk and Forge partners and look forward to having our customers guide both of our teams to new and innovative ways to integrate our solutions even deeper and drive connected workflows for the industry forward.
Wow, Myra. I love your story, and it's so well told. This is a great example of a BIM 360 ecosystem partner who created an integration on top of the Forge platform to bridge those gaps and connect data, thus bringing information into a visually rich and real-time environment. And that's exactly how you fuel those discussions that are so badly needed, and how you drive data-informed decisions. Thank you. Our last customer story is from Toshiba Elevators, based in Tokyo, Japan. Now, I mentioned them earlier and touched on the power of automation and how they use their data. But Toshiba isn't stopping there on their digital journey. So let's go to Tokyo and hear from Managing Director Kazuhiro Hatano on how they are heeding the demand for better.
畑野和弘と申します。東芝エレベーター株式会社の取締役常務をしております。情報戦略システム分担とBIM拡大プロジェクトを担当しております。東芝エレベーター株式会社は、エレベーターおよびエスカレーターの設計、製造、工事、 据え付け、保守を一貫している会社です。日本では製造産業のデジタル化は未だ十分とは言えず、大きな課題と認識しております。サイバーフィジカルシステム CPS におけるデジタル化を目指す必要がありますが、工程をまたがるデータの流れに関しては、工程別システムが縦割りになっており、十分な連携が取れていません。営業、設計、製造などの部門間のデータのリンクを開始していますが、いまだに多くの問題があります。当社の製品は工場出荷時に完了するものではなく、現場で初めて最終完成品となります。そのため、現場の状況をデジタル化し、取得し、絶えず監視する必要があります。当然、ライフサイクルに関する情報は現場によってそれぞれ様々ではありますが、現場の状況を把握するには、実際の現場に行って物理的に調べなければなりません。デジタル化することで、現場に行かなくとも、現場の情報をどこにいても知ることができます。これがまさにサイバーフィジカルシステム CPS の役割です。サイバー環境に物理的な現場を作り上げることで、最終的にはリカーリングビジネスモデルのデジタル化を通して取得した豊富な情報と相互に連携することです。この連携により最適なエレベーターの保守を実現します。そして最適な運行の実現に寄与する可能性を含んでいます。ただ単に目的地に行くだけではなく、全体の人々の流れを最適化する、そこに当社の究極な価値があります。昇降機設備は輸送用機器として社会インフラの一翼を担います。フィジカル社会では人や物がリアルに存在するが、デジタル化は人の流れなど、人や物の情報をサイバー空間的な社会につながります。このサイバー社会でのデータから得られるさまざまな知見をフィジカル社会にフィードバックすることで、例えばコロナ対策のために乗り合わせの最適化や環境負荷低減のために人流の制御など、豊かな社会を実現することができます。ウィズコロナの時代では今後間違いなくデジタル化が加速し、精緻なサイバー社会が構築されると思います。従来、エレベーターメーカーは社内で使用するシステムとワークフローを構築し、エレベーターそのものに焦点を当ててきました。しかし、実際にエレベーターを収める建物のデータについて、外部関係者と設計を調整する必要がありますが、今までこのコラボレーションは十分とは言えませんでした。すなわち、それらのシステム用のデータは社内でのみ使用され、外部関係者と相互に連携することはありませんでした。オートデスクがForgeというプラットフォームを開発され、インターネットでお客様と設計情報を共有、また同期できるようになったため、クラウド上でお客様と情報を共有しながらデータを一元管理するコンセプトを構築しています。当社はオートデスクのForgeを統一のデータ保管庫およびセールスコンフィギュレーターとデータを同期するプラットフォームとして活用しています。または CAD ツールのある設計システムとしても活用しています。Forgeはさまざまなシステム、部門、顧客に手を広げるための主な導管になります。今までお客様とオンラインでコラボレーションすることはめったにありませんでした。従来は現場でお客様に図面をお渡しし、その時点でお客様はその図面によって最終製品の理解をすることができました。デジタル情報を共有できる環境を作ることで、お客様のリクエストは即座に社内の業務に反映されて、それのアウトプットをシームレスに返すことができます。これは新しい価値であるオンデマンドのカスタマイズ化であり、デジタルでつながることで実現できます。コンフィギュレーターにレイアウトされた仕様から 3D モデルの作成を自動化するために、デザイン・オートメーション API を利用しています。これらの API を利用することで、バックグラウンドでの一括処理ができ、 時間を大幅に減らすことができます。また、仕様を変更する場合は、その変更が設計モデルと図面に必ず反映されなければならず、その変更がデータのプラットフォームを介して Revit に直接同期するメカニズムがあります。さらに、現在は断片化されているが、蓄積された設計データの中で更新される内容が製造のワークフローに連携する蓄積された設計データと製造のワークフローをリンクするという最終的なビジョンで開発が現在進められております。クラウド上のデータプラットフォームでさまざまな種類の情報とドキュメントを一元管理するコンセプトは非常に有益で収束するには重要だと思います。それらの情報データがエレベーターの引き合いから営業段階、設計、製造、保守へと引き継がれているようなビルのライフサイクルと合わせたデータの管理ができることで、それぞれのデータの有効性が広がり、効率化が図られます。東芝エレベーター株式会社では、お客様にどのようにアプローチできるかという可能性を常に模索しています。将来のビジョンとしては、お客様とサイバー空間での情報のやり取りを行うだけで、完成品のイメージを共有することができるようになることです。それはもちろん、このワークフローを広げて、製造段階以降までの工程に達することも含みます。これはサイバーのドメインで行われることになるので、完成品がどの段階の工程にあったとしても、その詳細を共有することができるはずです。それを可能にするには、工程の各段階でデジタル化の利点を最大限に生かし、現場での保守の最終段階での可能性を何度もイメージし続ける必要があります。
I am so impressed with Atana-san's story. With Forge, Toshiba is connecting and automating the process of designing and manufacturing elevators. This is the epitome of industry and process convergence. We also heard Hatana-san mention how Toshiba is planning to enhance their elevator systems. They will dynamically adapt to their environment, implementing a cycle of continuous reshaping. By capturing and analyzing elevator usage and performance data, like vibrations, loading, and wait time, Toshiba can improve their product designs. This can take place offline at the factory or real-time at the site, resulting in benefits like enabling their elevators to adjust to people flow and respond to unexpected conditions. You can see how Toshiba is not content to just get people from one floor to another. They are reimagining the way people move through a building. And as Hatana-san said, these efforts are increasingly relevant. When we're on the other side of this crisis, we will all need to reimagine spaces and see how we can keep them clean and safe. Data access, automation, enabled by Forge, make this possible.
I am struck how all these stories illustrate the power of the digital transformation today. This is why at Autodesk, we're so invested in Forge and the opportunity to partner with you on your journey to reimagining possible. And we too are taking our own advice and accepting the demand for better. And we have some great things on the horizon. I'm excited to share a glimpse into the new capabilities that we're adding to Forge. So you already know that by far the most utilized service on Forge today is the viewer. This is a service that brings to life 2D and 3D model data through visual experiences, and it helps you draw better insights from your design and make data. We want to help you visualize the convergence of design data and external data sources inside the viewer to enable innovative solutions like factory dashboards, building operation tools, and digital twins. Now, we know that building these solutions from scratch can be incredibly painstaking. It can be time-consuming, and it can take thousands of lines of code. And when those thousands of lines of codes have finally been written, they can be fragile and hard to maintain. So we want to simplify how you access the capabilities and make customizations of those solutions accessible to you. And in order to do that, we're building a set of components into our viewer which will make it easy for you to hook into streaming data sources, including out-of-the-box connections with leading IoT providers like AWS and Microsoft Azure. Here you can see an example of this with a building model. This building is outfitted with a number of sensors that track temperature, humidity, and more. And these sensors are connected to Microsoft Azure's digital twin service. And after connecting to the data source, viewer models can easily be decorated with visual representations of that data, such as heat map overlays. And the result? Simple but effective visualization of data, from which building owners can derive insights, automate processes, and improve the efficiency of buildings. And of course, the use case for this functionality extends far beyond just buildings.
As Susanna said earlier, our ultimate vision for Forge is to open up access for you to all of your design and make data, regardless of where it's stored. This is already happening in the construction space. Through Autodesk Construction Cloud, we have integrations with over 140 top-tier partners, and we're continuing to connect services and APIs and expose them on Forge to provide more value to customers in our construction cloud. For our manufacturing customers, we're opening Fusion's data model to make it accessible through the design to manufacture process. Combine that with data from other applications and workflows, and you can connect teams more effectively, efficiently, and streamline your processes even faster. As for automation, customers are already using AutoCAD, Revit, Inventor, and 3ds Max design automation in the cloud today to enable automated design workflows between architecture, building design, construction, and manufacturing. And soon, we'll be adding Civil 3D design automation to our toolset in the cloud. With design automation for AutoCAD, Revit, and Civil 3D, our customers are able to create apps that automate numerous infrastructure design and data sharing tasks. We're also working on building deeper integrations between Inventor and Revit, enabling automated design workflows between architects and building product manufacturers by allowing Revit family creation directly in Inventor.
You can get more detail on these updates, along with everything new coming to the Forge platform in our Forge Roadmap class. We have so many other ways you can learn about Forge during Autodesk University. You could tune into our Forge classes, get inspired by what our customers and internal teams are working on. You could drill down on how Forge can help you in our Forge for Industry content blocks. And if you're looking for fun ways to get to know Forge, you can check out the top Forge hackathon solutions from last week. Or, and here's my personal favorite, see Greg answer your burning strategy questions on the Forge Fire Face-Off. I'll be making a guest appearance too. And don't forget that the Forge team is standing by at the answer bar to address any questions you have.
We really encourage you to spend time learning how Forge can help you coordinate data across people and workflows to enhance collaboration and automatically draw insights from your data. You can find class highlights and links to all of our key content on our industry page. But don't stop there. You can find resources and opportunities to learn more about Forge anytime. Check out our Forge Accelerator program, Forge Partner Talks, coffee chats, website, and success stories. You can even sign up for a free Forge trial today and jump right in. Let me leave you with this. Forge and Convergence really are part of the greater journey of human innovation. We've talked today about the reaches of what we can do when we reimagine possible. From the era of the horse-drawn carriages, to the Industrial Revolution, to today's digital transformation. In each era of disruption, we've seen new problems emerge, as well as new professions, supply chains, and industries to solve them. The technology solutions we talked about today will transform into entirely new ways of working tomorrow. Whether it's industrialized construction, self-monitoring elevators, digital twins of buildings, or the future of the automobile, more and more opportunities to bridge the design to make gap are happening. Autodesk and Forge are here to help you reimagine possible, to change the question from what is to what if, and embrace the new digital ways of making. Thank you for joining us.